Hi there, folks. This is the Glenridge Minute for Thursday and Friday, February 18th and 19th. Here's the news from the Glenridge. Today I have an important interview to share with you, so I'm just going to point out a few news tidbits first. The hometown map. If you're not in the book and want to be, please come by Member Life for a form. The photography show is this weekend, 10 to 4 on Saturday and 10 to 3 on Sunday in the Mac Rooms. Don't miss it. Bingo is full up this Saturday night, but if you call the concierge and get on the waiting list, you will be first for the March 6th bingo night. Please remember to turn in your ad valorem tax form to the reception desk by Friday. And now, here's a very important interview I did yesterday with our CEO, Jim Cater.
Greetings, one and all. Now that 81% of our regular campus population, that's a weighted average, have received both COVID-19 vaccinations, I wanted to take this opportunity to share my thinking with you about reopening the Glenridge to our family and our friends. I don't want to waste much time or energy about things I can't control, but I do want to focus my talk on matters I believe I have some influence over, which is the Glenridge community. There is a quote that connotes the essence of what I'd like to talk to you about. It is, "You never know how strong you are until being strong is the only choice you have." Let me repeat that. You never know how strong you are until being strong is the only choice you have. I'm sure that you all know this to be true. Our Glenridge community, both members and staff, certainly do, as well as most of the world now knows a lot more about being strong in a world recovering from a pandemic that at times seemed so bizarre that familiar laws and patterns of order didn't seem to apply. At times it seemed like we were living in a supernatural world, fighting off a special kind of evil that we couldn't see, such as the world has not seen for 100 years. Our Glenridge staff certainly qualifies for all the everyday heroes that we can bestow upon them for their bravery in the face of danger. I know you all join me in congratulating them, all, for getting up and coming to work every day during this pandemic, every evening or every night shift, as the case may be, during the many months of very uncertain times. Our staff has endured their share of trials, fended off monotony, exhaustion, despair, isolation, some working multiple jobs, homeschooling, triaging the sick if they needed to, caring for our members on campus, and then going home and caring for a frail relative or two at home. I know this to be true in multiple cases. Of course, they were assisted and cheered on by our Glenridge members, and now, with the final vaccine shots having just gone in the arms of members and the majority of our staff, I also want to applaud the role our members too played in helping our organization win. Yes, I said win a decisive victory over COVID-19 on this beautiful 90-acre campus so many call home. Ben likes to call it our bubble. Yet he has yet to explain to me how we can have 400 to 500 cars every day coming and going in and out of that bubble without popping that bubble. So with this victory won, because of the 2 shots of vaccine in almost virtually every member's arm and the majority of our staff's arms, we're now at a weighted average of 81%, which some might suggest that we might be the first to reach herd immunity because the did are protecting the 19% who didn't or couldn't. That it is the time for us to pop the bubble and return the Glenridge to a more normal, kind and welcoming place that we're known for. And that is a key feature that attracts so many to join the Glenridge community and call it home. And many did, even during the pandemic. Enough with social isolation, living with fear, despair, worrying about dying from COVID-19. As one of my doctors in the executive health program at Mayo Clinic recently told me, Jim, people come here because they're sick, or they're dying of heart attacks, or cancer, or this, or that. But if they've gotten vaccinated, they're not going to die of COVID. He went on to say that those who have gotten the shot, which is 95% effective against getting sick from it, and even in the very, very slim 5% chance that one does get sick from it, the chances of you surviving are greater than 99%. Again, he reminded me, Jim, you're not going to die of COVID, but you do need to lose a little weight. So I have carefully listened to all these arguments, both pro and con, regarding allowing our families and friends back on our campus or staying locked down, the pros and cons of opening our dining rooms fully in gradual steps back to 100% capacity, or remaining at 50% without family and friends dining with members, and so on and so forth. And as we do, reintroducing our weekly housekeeping back into our weekly routines, because we don't have to spend so much time cleaning and re-cleaning the public areas 2 times daily. Reducing the amount of COVID screening and scrutiny at the main gate for the 400 to 500 cars a day that come and go through them. Allowing smaller events and gatherings to happen again, albeit with masks that still should be worn indoors, and not in my face distancing that still should be practiced, as we, for the sake of protecting one another, continue into a new phase of this pandemic. In other words, between now and Easter, which is April the 4th this year, we're going to use these almost 2 months to slowly return the Glenridge to a world of more recognizable normality and order, so that those who choose to come out of the isolation of their apartments and club homes may do so with confidence. And those who choose not yet to come out of the isolation they feel they need to protect themselves may do so as well, until they decide in their own time and for their own reasons that it's safe enough to do so. At the February GMAC meeting, I handed out an article about how well the state of Florida, comparatively speaking, has done over the last 11 months. Florida is ahead of us in its reopening, and Sarasota County's streets and restaurants are now teeming with our northern friends who are so relieved to be in sunny, warm Florida and out of the sometimes 0-degree weather and the frequently locked down and restricted municipalities they endured for so many months. My youngest son, Paul, who was born and raised in the Sunshine State, just recently moved to Colorado, called me just the other day and said it was 0 degrees in Denver. And he said, "Dad, I've never been anywhere close to 0 degrees." And it just reminded me of the blessings of living in the state of Florida in February. Let me assure each and every one of you that I will not continue to slowly and cautiously reopen the Glenridge over the next almost 2 months if something unexpected and or untoward happens in Sarasota County that threatens or even appears to threaten the members and or staff of the Glenridge. I personally check the Sarasota County statistics several times a week. Again, if something changes, I will not hesitate to pause reopening and or step back 1, 2, or even 3 steps back to whatever's required to protect the lives of those who live on the Glenridge campus. We haven't come this far and protected so many of our people so well over these long months to be hasty and careless now. The Carroll Center and the Highlands and the Isle of Skye are all regulated by our governor. I have good reason to believe that our governor will soon be loosening the visitor restrictions there. He so long ago imposed on our beloved members living in those areas. But until he does, conditions in those areas will remain as they currently are. The quote I began this talk with, "You never know how strong you are until being strong is the only choice you have," reminds me of one such instance in my life when I found myself taking my boat alone to Hilton Head Island to meet my family who were driving there by car for a vacation. I remember it well. It was about 9 o'clock at night and an unexpected storm had blown up. I was about 15 miles off the coast of Tybee Island, Georgia, searching for the outermost sea buoy marking the entrance to the Savannah River Channel in a serious thunderstorm with howling winds, rain, thunder, lightning, and the stormy Atlantic Ocean whipped up by all of this tempest. The radar in my boat had been rendered 90% ineffective because of the boat's up and down motion. So I couldn't see the sea buoy's blip on my boat's radar screen. So that I had to depend on my compass that was mounted on the dashboard of the boat to maintain a course toward which I had hoped the sea buoy would be. Again, it marks the outermost channel marker about 10 miles off the coast. So with all this lightning and wind and rain and heavy seas, the pitch black night illuminated only by the light from the lightning strikes that seemed to be at the time hitting all around the boat, and I was alone, caused me for the first and only time in my 40-year boating all around Peninsula Florida, the Florida Keys, and all over the 365 islands of the Bahamas to radio the Coast Guard and to give them my situation and location in case I needed them. The on-duty Coast Guard petty officer's voice that night, monitoring the radio that stormy July night, never sounded so good to one lonely boat captain who had just learned, once again, you never know how strong you are until being strong is the only choice you have. When he said, "Captain, I've got you on my radar. You're about 5 nautical miles south of the sea buoy, so continue on your current course until you spot it and then make a hard left turn and steer 260-degree course between the markers into the river channel, and you'll soon see the lighthouse light." He said, "I've got a small boat manned and ready to come out and meet you and guide you safely into the channel if you need it." Never have more welcome words ever been heard by a very alone boat captain on that stormy night off the Atlantic coast than those petty officers' words. "I've got you on my radar. Here's what you need to do. And if you need more help, I'll send it. Don't worry, Captain. You're going to be fine." Well, my closing words to you in this message are similar to that petty officer's words to me. We've got you on our radar. Here's what you need to do. And if you need more help, we'll send it. Don't worry. You're going to be fine. I wish you all a very, very good day. It's sun shining outside, and I hope you get a chance to get outside and walk around and enjoy it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim, for that update. We are all very excited for things to start getting back to normal. Now, here's the Glenridge movie update. Thursday at 2 p.m., you can have a laugh with Private Benjamin, starring Goldie Hawn. Saturday at 2 p.m. is the movie musical Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, starring Marilyn Monroe and Jane Russell. Va-va-va-voom. Please remember, it's up to all of us to get out of the house and flourish while keeping our campus as COVID-free as we possibly can. So grab your mask, wash your hands, and keep this slogan in mind. Be safe and have fun in 2021. Bye-bye.